A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose isn't just a book you read. It's a guide you feel. It's a quiet revolution that stirs your inner world and shifts how you see yourself and the world around you. In this spiritual masterpiece, Eckhart Tolle invites readers to step beyond the noise of ego and awaken to a life of purpose, peace and profound presence. His message is simple yet powerful. True fulfillment comes not from chasing achievements or status but from living in alignment with your deepest self. Tolle doesn't just point you toward enlightenment. He takes you by the hand and walks beside you with humility, clarity, and grace. The foundation of a new earth is the ego, that restless, demanding voice inside us that craves validation and fears irrelevance. Tolle explains how the ego disguises itself in identities, roles, labels and possessions. It thrives on separation, me versus you, us versus them. It feeds on drama, resistance, and the illusion of control. This false self, he warns, is the root of individual suffering and collective dysfunction. But Tolle's message is not one of despair. It's a beacon of hope. When we recognize the ego's grip, we can begin to let it go. And in its place, something more powerful emerges, our true essence, our being. Early in the book, Tolle invites us to examine how the ego shows up in our everyday lives. It's not just arrogance or selfishness. It's that inner chatter that constantly compares, judges and complains. It's the urge to prove you're right and others are wrong. It's the subtle need to be seen, admired or pitied. He asks us to watch this voice without judgment. Just observe it. Become aware of it. Because awareness, he says, is the beginning of transformation. One of the most profound teachings in A New Earth is the concept of the pain body. This is the emotional baggage we carry, the accumulated hurt, anger, and trauma from the past. For many people, the pain body isn't dormant. It's alive and active, often hijacking our reactions and relationships. Tolle describes how the pain body feeds on negative energy. It wants conflict. It wants to be triggered. But again, the key isn't to fight it. It's to witness it. When we bring presence to the pain body, it loses its power. We stop identifying with the pain and begin to heal. The heart of the book lies in presence, that sacred space where thoughts quiet down and you become fully aware of the now. Tolle teaches that presence is not something we achieve through effort. It's something we return to by letting go. He reminds us that the present moment is all we ever truly have. The past is memory. The future is imagination. When we anchor ourselves in now, we tap into a wellspring of peace, clarity, and power. In A New Earth, Tolle dismantles the myth that we are our thoughts. He says that most people live in a state of unconscious thinking, a never-ending loop of fears, regrets, fantasies and judgments. But we are not the thinker. We are the awareness behind the thoughts. And once we realize this, a gap forms between us and our mental noise. In that gap lies freedom. A major theme in the book is non-resistance. Life will bring challenges. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will shift. But suffering arises not from what happens, but from our resistance to it. Tolle teaches that acceptance is not passivity. It's a powerful state of allowing. When we stop fighting reality, we create space for clarity, action, and transformation. The ego resists. The awakened self surrenders. Tolle also explores the idea of space consciousness, the ability to hold space for what is without labeling, reacting, or grasping. Just like music arises not only from notes but from the silence between them, our lives gain depth when we embrace stillness and silence. This spaciousness allows us to respond rather than react. It gives us room to listen, to feel, to simply be. Throughout the book, Tolle uses practical examples and everyday language to make his teachings accessible. He talks about how the ego shows up at work, in relationships, and even in spiritual circles. He warns against the spiritual ego, the part of us that feels superior because we're woke. True awakening, he says, is humble. It doesn't need to announce itself. It shines quietly through presence, compassion and authenticity. One of the book's most powerful chapters centers around purpose. According to Tolle, we all have two purposes, an outer purpose and an inner purpose. The outer purpose is what we do, our job, our goals, our roles in the world. But the inner purpose is who we are, our state of consciousness in each moment. Most people obsess over outer purpose, hoping it will bring happiness. But without inner alignment, outer success feels hollow. Tolle encourages us to make presence our primary purpose. From that foundation, right action flows naturally. He also speaks about the importance of detachment from form. Everything in the world of form, our bodies, possessions, titles, relationships, is temporary. Clinging to these things creates anxiety and fear. Letting go doesn't mean we reject life. It means we enjoy and engage with life while staying rooted in what's eternal. When we know who we are beyond form, we can face change and loss with grace. Tolle's writing is gentle yet piercing. He doesn't preach. He points. He doesn't demand. He invites. His words often feel like a mirror, reflecting parts of ourselves we've ignored or denied. And in that reflection, we find the courage to awaken. The book also addresses the collective dimension of ego. Tolle explains how nations, religions and political movements can become infected by egoic thinking. When group identity becomes more important than shared humanity, division and conflict arise. Awakening on a personal level, therefore, is not just for our benefit. It's an act of service to the planet. As more individuals awaken, the collective consciousness begins to shift. A new earth is not a place we travel to. It's a state of being we bring forth through our own transformation. One of the most beautiful aspects of a new earth is its timelessness. It doesn't offer quick fixes or trendy advice. It offers a path, a quiet, steady unfolding of awareness. The book encourages us to slow down, to breathe, to listen to the stillness beneath the noise. In doing so, we touch something sacred, something that has been within us all along. Tolle speaks of awakening not as a future goal but as a present possibility. Every moment offers a doorway into presence. Whether you're washing dishes, sitting in traffic or facing a major life transition, you can choose to be present. And in that choice, you realign with your true self. This is the essence of awakening, not escaping life, but entering it more fully. He reminds us that the ego cannot survive in the light of awareness. When we shine the light of consciousness on our reactive patterns, on our judgments, on our fears, they begin to dissolve. We stop being controlled by them. We become free. And in that freedom, we discover a new way of being, one rooted in peace, compassion and authenticity. By the end of A New Earth, the reader is not just informed but transformed. Tolle doesn't just explain spiritual awakening. He facilitates it. His words carry a frequency, a stillness, that can shift your energy just by reading them. He encourages us to live from our essence, to serve from our wholeness and to love from our presence. In conclusion, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose is more than a spiritual guidebook. It's a blueprint for inner evolution. It challenges the illusions we've built our lives on and invites us into something deeper, truer and infinitely more peaceful. It shows us that purpose isn't something we chase. It's something we embody. And in embodying it, we don't just change our lives. We begin to change the world. This book is not just for those on a spiritual path. It's for anyone tired of the noise, the stress, and the endless striving. It's for anyone who has felt the whisper of something more. It's for anyone ready to wake up.